Bernie Sanders is now the most likely candidate to win the Democratic nomination, and I have proof. If Democrats really want a fighter, Bernie Sanders is the clear option. He fights attacks by corporate media day in, day out, yet he's still outraising all the candidates on the stage. With the most individual donors, I mean, without taking any corporate PAC money, without taking money from billionaires, Bernie Sanders is your guy. How is this even possible that a candidate can be smeared the way that Bernie Sanders has been, yet he still outraises his opponents that are being praised by corporate media? That's because he has an intense amount of grassroots support from working class people. He has tons of support on social media. Just in every category, he beats his opponents. He is easily, when polled, people trust him the most on healthcare. People trust him the most on gun reform, the environment, education reform, tax reform. He's the most trusted candidate. No other candidate competes. And corporate media is just now taking notes, and they're just now saying Bernie Sanders can win, which is huge for the corporate media to admit that. And I'm of the assumption that something bad's they're planning something bad. They're getting ready to pull some shit. But yeah, a new poll from the Iowa Caucus shows Bernie Sanders in the lead. And this is the first time that this has ever happened in this election cycle. So, this is very telling. Oftentimes, Iowa also predicts the winner of the nomination. So, this is huge. Bernie Sanders is currently leading with 20%, and Pete Buttigieg is behind him with 16%, and Joe Biden in third place with 15%. This is really going to hurt Joe Biden the most. Seen as the front runner still by a lot of people, a lot of older voters still think he's the front runner. This is a massive blow if you fall to third place. That's really kind of embarrassing, and I'd be surprised if he could hold on much longer than that, because he's still getting outraced by Bernie. Also, there's a poll from New Hampshire, and it shows Bernie Sanders with 27%, and Joe Biden in second place with 25%. And Joe is still in reaching distance of Bernie, so it's very important for us to remember we cannot let our foot off the gas on this one. Biden could certainly retake the lead. I wouldn't put it past him. I think his campaign's going to throw everything at Bernie this debate that takes place tomorrow, I believe. Yeah. And I'll have videos breaking that down if you guys want to subscribe and watch those and give my opinions on the winners, the losers, everything like that. I'll be taking notes the entire time. But yeah, I think the Biden campaign is certainly going to throw everything they got at Senator Sanders' way, and I hope Bernie can hold on and fire some shots back at him and really put this thing away, because I think he can get it done very, very soon. So, things are looking great in Iowa. Things are looking great in New Hampshire. Here's where things get shaky, though. Nevada is still currently going to Biden, but still within Bernie's reach. So it's still hard to tell what's going to happen in Nevada. But I still think a lot of Biden's support in Nevada is just default support. And they're simply just supporting Biden because he's seen as the most experienced. These voters, they just seem to care less about policy. So I have a good feeling most of these voters will switch to Bernie if Bernie has a significant lead in the states before Biden. This is where I think it's really going to hurt in Iowa, when Biden is all the votes are counted and Biden ends up in third place. If that really happens, then That's going to be really bad for the Biden campaign, especially in Nevada, because I think a lot of these people are going to go, oh, we cannot elect this guy. There's no way that he can beat Trump, because he can't even beat the own people in the Democratic Party. So I don't think his support will stay much longer. So if the momentum's behind Bernie, which it certainly is right now, then I think we're good in Nevada. But that brings me to my next point, South Carolina. Right now, Joe Biden has a strong 36% lead according to a Fox News poll. This poll also has Tom Steyer, however he's saying his name, the billionaire guy, sitting in second place with 15%, and Bernie in third place with 14%. But I'll tell you what, I don't think this is going to matter as much that Bernie Sanders is in third place here as Joe Biden in third place in Iowa. And here's why. Bernie's third place right here in South Carolina goes to show that Bernie Sanders still, I mean, he's a candidate of policy, and a lot of this default support just really isn't going to go to him. I have no clue how Tom Steyer, he must be putting a lot of money into South Carolina. I made a video on that if you want to go check that out. But yeah, Tom Steyer is in second place apparently in South Carolina, which is very shocking. But Bernie Sanders in third place isn't going to matter as much because he's already shown that he can win states. With it being the first state and Joe Biden falling to third place, that's going to leave a sour taste in voters' mouths. And I would be surprised if his support carries on much longer after that. I think he'll be done out of this race in a few months, honestly. So Bernie is in third place right now, but I believe that he'll gain traction back. And before the primary in South Carolina, I wouldn't be surprised if Bernie's in first place, but we'll have to see. But yeah, I think a lot of it's just default support, and I don't believe Joe Biden's lead will last in that state. But also brings me to California. Right now, I don't have the numbers with me right now. Excuse me a second while I look that up. But apparently right now, Bernie's actually leading in California by a pretty large margin, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Yeah, Elizabeth Warren pretty much nosedived. That's what I'm saying. Axios poll. There we go. Bernie Sanders with 24%, and Elizabeth Warren with 22%, and Joe Biden at 14%, third place again. But here's what we learned in math class when I was in math a few years ago. Sometimes you don't have to be the first place in every state to win an election. Here's a common thing though. You see Joe Biden moving around a whole lot. He's first place, then he's second place, then he's third place, then he's first place, then he's second place, then he's third place. That's not nearly as consistent as Bernie Sanders' first place, second place, third place. And third place narrowly, and it's within the margin of error. So, yeah, I think a lot of this is, I think Bernie's got this one under locks. And all this information just leads me to believe that Bernie Sanders will be the nominee of the 2020 Democratic primary. And if you don't agree with me, please, I encourage you, drop a comment in the comment section down below. We can talk about it in the comments. I hope everyone subscribes. I hope everyone likes the video. I hope you guys all had a great day, and I'll see you later.